As President Ramaphosa recovers from COVID-19, David Mabuza expected to be out at Athlone Stadium today to promote the COVID-19 vaccine. He's due to be joined by Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Nathi Mthethwa. Vaccine hesitancy appears to remain high, with only 27 million vaccines administered so far. Ronald Masinda is listening closely to what they have to say. Ronald, thank you so much for joining us. The industries of sport, arts and culture hit quite hard because of the lack of crowds at football matches, sports events, for example, no concerts, performances at theaters. So this is an industry that desperately needs this country to be highly vaccinated.
Yes, indeed, Tapuma, and today is a very important day to address the issue of vaccinations. We are expecting to hear from David Mabuza as well as Nathi Mthethwa as to a way forward. As you rightly mentioned, sport has gone through a very difficult time. At some stage, around 18 months where we didn't see any fans allowed in stadiums. And since the announcement was made in October, where Bafana Bafana hosted Ethiopia at the FNP Stadium, we gradually saw a limited amount of fans who were vaccinated went into the stadium. The entertainment industry has also found itself in a very difficult spot, but for now, I'm going to be talking briefly about some of the events that have taken place in Cape Town with a member of the Western Cape Choral Association. Akona, thank you so much for your time. I mean, you mentioned earlier that at least you guys are getting a bit of support from government, but how has the past few months been for your industry?
It has been quite a difficult time for our industry because when the country was on hard lockdown, it meant that there could not be any events. Our school music also suffered. There were no competitions last year for our students. Also in our choral fraternity, our member choirs could not perform. So the hard lockdown really affected us. So we started our programs like this year in May, only in May that we could be able to host even programs. But and we're going to encourage people to just get vaccinated so that we can be able to host our events. Our artists are suffering. If the country could go to hard lockdown again, it means that our artists will also suffer, our choirs will suffer, the whole fraternity will suffer.
Quite important that you mentioned being on that vaccination drive, because what we've seen in terms of numbers, there have been very low vaccinations in areas such as Kailicha, areas where a lot of people, are involved in choral music. How are you going to approach the situation when you go to these townships?
So we are going to go out there and speak with our member choirs to just be on this drive to get people vaccinated, because we have found out that being vaccinated means that there are less chances of us being affected. And if we don't vaccinate, and we are seeing numbers now growing up, there is a fear that we could be going to the fourth wave. If we go to the fourth wave and then the country decides that we are going to be on the hard lockdown, it means again that we're going to be set back and we won't be able to host any events. So we're going to be going out there to our member choirs and encourage everyone in our communities to get vaccinated.
Just lastly, fourth wave, many people are still anxious about what the future holds. What are you hoping to hear from the Deputy President today?
We're hoping to hear them coming up with a program on how to encourage people to get vaccinated, and hoping that there are plans that will be put in place to ensure that this vaccination drive is accelerated and that everyone is encouraged to go and vaccinate, because if we don't, we're slowly seeing numbers now increasing. It brings fear to our fraternity, because it means that if we are put on hard lockdown, no events, nothing, and our fraternity will die.
And very briefly, I have to put you on the spot here. I mean, you guys are part of a choir. Just for 30 seconds, give us a taste of what we can expect on stage today.
Can we do it? Okay, 1, 2. Guys, this is bad. This
okay, let's leave it. Let's leave it. All right, Apuma, that's the situation on the ground. We are expecting the program to start at around 10 o'clock this morning.
Ronald, you could have given them a chance to redeem themselves after that false start. But we know they're good enough if they're going to be on stage later today. Thank you so much, Ronald Masinda, out at Athlone Stadium in Cape Town, where Deputy President David Mabuza is expected to appear as they go on a drive to encourage vaccination. Now,